to be an ARPG dev if you're not PoE or D4 basically. Epoch struggling, Torchlight's going to struggle because of it. In a good way, like it's more eyes on. Oh! Oh! Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky, and in today's video, we're going to do a quick update on my League starter for Torchlight. Now, I did make the leveling guide for this on Maxroll. You can go over there and check that out if you are starting this character fresh. But if you're on this character and you want to see maybe what to do next, this is kind of my midway point. I'm not into the extreme end of the build yet. There is so much more I can upgrade, but there are a lot of things that I've done that people have asked me about and they've wanted to see. So this is going to be a reasonably concise, maybe even a one-take video. If you want a comprehensive build guide, it will be coming in the future in the form of a written guide on Maxroll and a video, but this is not that. So that's out of the way. Let's talk first of all about the gear. If I'm going to assume from this you're familiar with the leveling guide. The gear that I'm currently on, we moved on to a dexterity stacker, and I mentioned in the guide obviously that bow is better to start with because it's much easier to craft. That is still the case. If you have a bow, start with the dexterity stacking mod and roll to try and hit stats and dex, and then just finish it with penetration. That is the way you're going to craft your bow. But I've moved on to pistols, and again, when you start with pistols, you want to start with the dexterity stacking mod. You then roll for stats or dex, and then you add the remaining mods, whether it's lightning damage, projectile damage, and then penetration as the enchant. So that's what we've done on the pistols. Pistols are better, it's more damage, but more difficult to acquire, more expensive. My rings, just dex, resistance, and life. This is going to be the same for a lot of my gear. It's just dex, resistance, and life. I'm going to skip over the less interesting things. Again, just dex, resistance, and life. I get fervor from my gloves. That's the source of fervor. False gods, this is not mandatory. I see a lot of people, maybe they see my character on the leaderboards or they've been watching and they think they have to use this necklace. This necklace is very good, but it is by no means mandatory and not worth thousands of FEs. Do not spend thousands of FEs on this necklace. Just use a one stat one with some percent stats, or maybe just get a rare necklace with a decent amount of dexterity on it and some stats. Don't waste your money just trying to go item for item, the same of what I've done. The chest piece, I've gone for a Shadow's Protection. This is important because it gives you the ability to gain agility blessings on critical strike. You will then lose those on non-crits, but you crit as much more than you don't. So you're going to keep those agility blessings. Then again, life, dexterity, resistance. So it's all pretty boring for most of the gear, but where the magic happens is in our hero relics and memories and our divinity slate. So looking at the hero relics and memories, first of all, this is where we're getting our jumps. Jumps are very important for this build to make it feel smooth and get good clear speed. And then hero memory effect is because we want to be moving around quick. Bing's biggest weakness is he can't leap attack with guns. You can't leap attack, you can't spiral strike. You have to blink and you have to run. So I want to run faster. I've got move speed. I also got prod speed because it just makes the build feel nicer. You would want damage here if you were doing bossing or something. Maybe in T8 we're going to have to swap out to bosses. I do have a dexterity memory that I've been using, but these are fine for now. Just move speed and prod speed. And then finally, detonation dare. This is very expensive, not mandatory at all, but it is a huge boost in power to the build. Up to 3 additional bombs thrown at any given time. It's almost 50% more damage at least for most people. Hero traits, you can see, I don't even need to swap any hero traits for bossing anymore. We do plenty of damage. So that is our hero traits. And then where the magic happens is the divinity slate. We of course have versatile. This causes our cast speed increase reductions to be applied to our attack speed. This grants us basically another bomb and a half worth of attack speed, which is very nice. You do want to pick one of these up as soon as possible. It's a huge increase in power for the build. Then the remaining mods, I have crafted a lot of my divinity slates myself. I will go into this in another video. But the main thing is that this mod right here, the new god, is balancing order and chaos, giving me lightning damage for every point of order. Now, I'm going to go into this in another video, which will be released shortly after this one. I'm not going to go into it now. But these are very good. Your brand, your divinity slate and your branding is where a lot of your power is going to come from. Do not ignore this. But again, go to the next video that is released after this and you'll learn about it. For the rest of it, it's just life, dexterity, crit, shock settles are pretty nice. lightning damage, and then we have order decrease. We lose order slower, but that is more relevant for the next video if you want to watch that. So that is all of that. Skill tree, we're in Ranger still. We've got Blade Runner. This is largely the same. Of course, you do want to come in and get Perception over Paralyzed. Ranger, we have gone with Lucky Crits. We're now, because we are further from our gloves. Ranger, we go for a Pendant. Keep it up would be nice. You get a lot of crit, but it's kind of overkill. Over here, make sure you're picking up the critical strike damage per fervor and the fervor effect. So those are, I think they're the only changes on the talent tree. And then for the skills, this is the main setup for mapping. We have multiple projectiles, lightning damage, yeah. You can figure that out by looking at it. I don't need to read it all out. There's the life source, blink, periodic burst is really nice. This was actually recommended to me. It gives you attack and cast speed. Obviously, very good for this build. It's going to give you more bombs thrown. Fixate for double damage. Burst of anger for movement speed and additional attack speed, which is damage on this build. Precise, thunder imbue. Make sure you do pick up your precise skills. They are more damage and more quality of life in most cases. For example, precise projectiles gives you 50% chance to gain 2 additional projectiles. Huge improvement over the regular version. Make sure you pick this up. It is huge for your clear. Elemental Duo goes on Thunder Spirit so that you get the benefit twice. So you get 70% attack and cast speed instead of 35. Very nice. And then a cast on crit setup linked to our life with seal conversion with Electrocute and Secret Origin Unleashed, because this gives you 18% additional cast speed, which on this build is 18% additional projectile damage, which is really nice. So that is where I'm at with the build. There are still many upgrades I have to make, and many that I will be making over the next couple of days on stream. I will go over the codex and divinity slates in future videos. I've been having so much fun streaming though that I haven't really had time for videos, but if you caught this and it helps you out, this is kind of a nice bit of progression for the build. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Divinity fragments is because if you come here, you can buy divinity slates. Once you reach level 95, you can buy level 90 divinity slates. And what you'll see that's important about these is you can brand them 12 times. This is very important. So this is why you're going to want to buy all your divinity slate monies. But yeah, we'll talk about that more in detail in the next video.